Chapter 11. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Top 8 HF Shiro Amiya/Shiro Amiya. Dimension Gold lists a review of the top 10 most shocking scenes in the universe. Ranking in no particular order. Top 8 Shiro Amiya/Shiro Amiya. Those who betray their ideals and beliefs and fight for love will eventually fall into the abyss. In the world of fate, Irisville looked at Kiritsugu Amiya doubtfully. Shiro Amiya. When did Kiritsugu have a child? Kiritsugu Amiya wondered with gloomy eyes whether his father had any relatives left, but he could not think of any clues about Shiro Amiya after thinking for a long time. Kiritsugu Amiya could only give up and wait quietly for the broadcast of the Golden List. In the timeline of the Fifth War, Red Block A was on the roof of the Tosaka residence. Looking at Shiro Amiya like this, he could not help but smile with relief. It turns out that there is another possibility for this man, Shiro Amiya, who is not bound by ideals and truly fights for himself and for love. In the world of Super God, Angel Yen looked at this introduction with a little doubt. Betraying beliefs but fighting for love, what a contradiction. In the world of Triga, Kengo Shinaka was very confused by this sentence. Isn't fighting for love just the faith of a warrior? What did Shiro Amiya betray? Demon Slayer World, Akaza kept saying that those who fight for love will eventually fall into the abyss. He seemed to remember something in his mind, but it was suppressed. That voice lingered in his mind all the time. Love, snow. Inventory begins. Roar. A deafening roar echoed in the forest. In the picture, a tall and strong monster, whose body is corrupted by filthy black mud and entangled with red and black ominous threads, is rampaging in the forest, seemingly looking for something. Yee hey, oh my god, this guy is in his old age. Ilya, UBW, this is Basaka? How could Basaka become like this? Basaka is the strongest. Uncle Joe, this thing is haunted by evil, it must be a great evil. Even if he was not like this before, I am afraid it is irreversible now. In the world of Kamen Rider 01, the satellite yak flashed an ominous red light. He could feel that Basaka was entangled with malice, the malice of all mankind, and he was a being of the same origin, best, host. The scene changes. In a gully in the forest, a red-haired boy squatted down and stroked the head of a white-haired girl. The boy's name appeared in the subtitles, Shiro Amiya. Shiro, don't, the white-haired girl looked at Amiya Shiro worriedly, if you use it, you'll never be able to come back, you'll die. Amiya Shiro shook his head, stroked the white-haired girl's head, looked at her gently and shook his head. It is precisely because of immortality that we must use it. Ilya called me big brother, right? A big brother should protect his little sister. After saying that, Amiya Shiro turned and walked towards the slope. He stood on the slope, rolled up his sleeves, revealing his arms wrapped in red ribbons, and looked resolutely into the distance. It's okay even if I defeat him, right? Ilya nodded with tears in her eyes. Yes, Fujiwara Ritsuka, this is Mr. Muramasa. Sakuramitsu Shu, Amiya Shiro's left hand is thicker than his right hand, and it's wrapped in red cloth. Could it be that it contains some kind of power? Hayadu Issei, maybe there's a divine weapon inside? Or an arm that contains the power of a god? Winter Soldier, this kid's arm shouldn't be original. It must have been broken once and then reattached. Takanashi Rika, oh. The left hand that sealed the Black Flame Dragon? Amiya Shiro must be a Black Flame magician. Gyutara, it's rare that I agree with a human, kid. A brother should protect his sister. In the world of fate, Irisville screamed, Ilya. Kiritsugu. It's Ilya. Irisville was already immersed in the image of Ilya when she grew up, while Amiya Kiritsugu was smoking a cigarette with a little confusion in his eyes. If he took Irisville and Ilya away, would everything be better? In the world of One Piece, Shanks took a sip of wine and laughed loudly, a boy with red hair like me. Let me see how much you can achieve. In the world of Flame Fist, Luna felt some emotion from the bottom of her heart when she saw this, and then she clenched her fist and pointed at Agni. Just think of it as my own good. Use the Flame Fist on him. As the sun rose, Shiro Amiya leaped with all his might. The holy cloth on his arm was torn off, and his consciousness entered a hazy and trance-like realm. In the boundless space, countless dust and sand were blown towards Shiro Amiya by the strong wind. Shiro Amiya was completely wrapped in green crystals, shouting silently, running forward with difficulty, and his consciousness had already lost its clarity. His consciousness and body gradually became blurred and collapsed. Shiro Amiya asked himself in confusion, why am I here? Why did I become like this? What am I fighting for? Phosphophylite Fas, hey. How come Shiro Amiya also turned into phosphophylite? Exactly the same as me. Fu Hua, inner demon. Or, this should be his inner space. Frigga, every man who can stand on his own feet has moments of confusion. It's time for him to achieve self-realization. Zhongyue, move your heart and endure your nature. Look within yourself. Can you realize your own existence? A light suddenly appeared in front of the endless dust, and a figure walked slowly forward with his back to him. Shiro Amiya became more and more excited when he saw that figure, and cracks appeared on the green crystals on his body. The man's silhouette gradually became clear, and it could be seen that he was a white-haired man wearing a red windbreaker. Yuma Shirazawa Huiin, this man's silhouette looks a lot like Shiro. Kevin, oh. This must be him in the future. It feels like he must have suffered a lot in the future. Phosphophylite Fas, It's cracked. How come it cracks when the wind blows? Fate World, the timeline of the Fifth War. Tosaka Rin pointed at the gold list in disbelief and turned to look at Red Archer. It's okay that Amiya showed up, but how are you related to Amiya? And let your hair down for me to see. Red A looked at Tosaka Rin with a headache, not knowing how to explain that the man suddenly stopped walking, turned around and looked at Shiro Amiya with disdain and trust, and asked, Can you keep up? Click. The green crystals on Shiro Amiya's body shattered piece by piece. They all turned into fragments and disintegrated. He ran as hard as he could, his eyes burning with anger as he shouted, You asked me, can I catch up? You bastard, you should catch up with me. With a roar, Amiya Shiro stepped forward and passed over the man's body. The surrounding wind, sand and dust all dissipated, leaving only the flat road and the blue sky. The man smiled bitterly and happily as he watched Shiro Amiya surpass him. Elmeloi 2, Shiro Amiya. You have surpassed yourself and created a new life, Gellert Grindelwald. The confusion has dissipated, leaving him with only a vast and clear world. His life is a new change for Shiro Amiya. Loki, a new variable has appeared in the unchanging life. If there is a new variable in my life, I should be so happy too. In the land of Lustrous, the school is in chaos. When Fas saw Phosphophylite shatter and transform into a living person, he was so frightened that he fainted. Cinnabar tried to pull Fas out but was also pulled down, and the two of them broke into pieces. In the Fate World, the timeline of the Fifth War, Rin Tosaka looked at Red A, who had let down his hair and was at a loss, with tears in her eyes, and thought of his bitter and relieved smile, and threw herself into his arms. Really? Amiya, you must have suffered a lot in the future, right? Running to the end of the earth, Shiro Amiya jumped off the cliff. Trace on. Projection starts. Dragon Boat Festival reading discount. Top up 100 and get 500 VIP points. Top up now. Event time, June 22nd to June 24th. Chapter 12. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Shooting hundreds of heads. Black Saber vs. Rider Medusa. I saw the screen on the gold list constantly switching. The figure wreaking havoc in the forest appears in the picture. He skinned the giant lion. He killed the 9-headed snake. He captured the scary-looking deer alive. 12 scenes appeared, and the last one changed to a stone house, where he was crying while holding his dead child. Ace, is this the Hercules? Jason, impossible. Absolutely impossible. I, Hercules, am invincible. Conan, the last scene should be the scene where her child was poisoned by Hera, the Queen of Heaven. Paimeng, ah. That's too bad. I'm going to give her an ugly nickname, Dog Donkey. Lan Meng, 6. Crack. The sound of a bullet being loaded was heard. Shiro Amiya landed on the ground and said calmly, projection, reload. Heracles was attacking Amiya Shiro with a stone blade. Amiya Shiro raised his hand, and the blue circuit flashed a dazzling light. Slashing sword technique, shoot and kill hundreds of heads. Ninelove's blade works. There was blood flowing from the corner of Shiro Amiya's eyes, and a green magic ball condensed in the palm of his hand, and then transformed into a stone sword exactly the same as the one held by Heracles. Call out. One sword. A flash of cold light, 9 slashes. Hercules' flesh and blood flew everywhere. His spiritual base completely collapsed, and he turned into spirit particles and disappeared into the air. Bathermero, this is a magic circuit. He is a magician. We must find him. Uchiha Sasuke, Amashas. By the way, why does Shiro Amiya's voice sound so much like mine? Merlin, Boyle. Yagyu Kenkage, the sword skills of this sword cannot be captured by the naked eye. The sword skills of slashing 9 swords at the same time are really superb. Loki, my family needs such a hero. He is not a brave man. He is definitely a hero. Last, I like the flying flesh and blood. Let's change the fight like this. Luo Hao, a mortal killed Hercules, and another godslayer was born. The gold list screen changes again. This time the scene comes to a huge cave in the middle of a mountain. The dark swordsman, Black Saber, stood at the entrance of the cave and stared at the purple-haired woman. The golden list marked the identities of the two, Black Saber King Arthur and Altria Pendragon. Rider Medusa. Margaret, is this a knight? How could the noble one who illuminates the earth fall to this level like that Hercules? Jean Gunhild, something must have happened. The dark filth, the horror and darkness that enters people's hearts. Merlin, then let Big Brother Merlin tell the story of King Arthur. This king is the last king of the Age of Gods, who defeated the White Dragon and was hailed as the Night King. Ika Seijo, Night King. Too awesome. I like this saber too. In the Fate world, Shinji Mato laughed while holding his stomach, ha 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 ha. Just a rider. The guy who was killed instantly by Saber still wants to compete with Saber. Don't be kidding. A huge amount of magic power washed over Black Saber's body. Medusa also picked up the chain and took off her blindfold, revealing her eyes emitting purple light. Every time Black Saber swings her sword, she has absolute suppression power. She releases huge magic power at random, destroying the surrounding environment. Ainsul Gown, doesn't she need blue to use her skills? Rimuru, is this the activation of unlimited firepower? Shimura, Danzo, what exactly is the power of this woman's eye technique? I'm really curious. Ehara Ryu, what is it protecting? It's in the cave, so it's okay. Lucy, it fits my imagination of violent aesthetics. What kind of prosthesis can have such power? Unable to fight head-on, Medusa used her super high agility and speed to pull, constantly dodging Black Saber's attacks, looking for opportunities to attack. In the picture, Medusa leaped into the air after dodging the attack again, and her tightly closed eyes suddenly opened. A shrill wail sounded from the void, Black Saber's pupils constricted, and her body felt heavy and weak, as if all the cells and blood in her body had lost their vitality. Is this the curse of the evil eye? Black Saber whispered, and then found that the armor on his body had begun to petrify. Tokiwa Sugo, what a fast speed. The speed of running with 2 legs is comparable to the speed of Cheeky kicking my 6 legs. Su Tingfei, the speed of Feiying armor is just like this is a scary woman. Xiaoyu, so scary. Turning people into stone. Namikaze Minato, she has speed, and she is also good at pulling, but it feels a bit scratchy. Kuretani Kazuto, assassins can't deal effective damage against heavy warriors, right? Medusa used her super strength as a banshee to kick Black Saber hard. At the edge of the battlefield, Shiro Amiya watched solemnly as Black Saber rolled up his sleeves, planning to find an opportunity to intervene in the battle. Black Saber's magic power seemed to be endless. After resisting several attacks, she found a gap and used her magic power to flush her body, making her immune to petrification. Then the enraged Black Saber began to suppress the enemy with unscrupulous firepower, and the black and red light cannon spread in the cave. Hot Wheels, this move is called the Nine Sky Thunder Double Kick. Count Vauban, although this kid killed gods, it is still difficult for him to participate in this level of battle. Patriot, unbelievable, with such output power and destructive power, I am afraid that even if the army comes, it will be annihilated. Okita Tsuji, damn light cannon saber. I asked for help from the Throne of Heroes, and the only one who responded to me was me as a part-time worker. Mysterious Heroine X, the evil saber has increased again. If I were here, I would be happy to help Shiro Amiya kill Saber. Medusa moved around in the rubble and explosions, arranging chains and using multiple huge stones to lock Black Saber inside. Black Saber looked at Medusa with bloodshot eyes and roared, "Do you think you can hold me back at this level?" Thump. Medusa's figure reappeared from the thick smoke and fell to the ground. She bent down and stared at the direction of Black Saber. Noble phantasm. Blood coagulated into a totem in front of Medusa, and a blood-colored Pegasus appeared on it. Uzumaki Nagato, what a crude Chibaku Tensei, but it's still okay as a seal. Platinum, thank you for the invitation. I'm already scared. If all the knights I assassinate are like this, I will resign on the spot. Ito Makoto, let me be honest. Medusa's posture is in the driving position. In the FSF world, all masters and servants can see that Rider is getting more and more tired against Saber, so what is the treasure that can delay time and be used as a trump card? It can give her the confidence to defeat Saber. I will start adding more chapters after I get home in a few days. I am not at home at the moment. Dragon Boat Festival reading discount. Top up 100 and get 500 VIP points. Top up now, activity time, June 22nd to June 24th. Chapter 13. You are listening at novelfull.audio. The Sword of Promised Victory versus the 7 Rings of Blazing Sky. The Reigns of the Night. The Black Saber fell to the ground, smashed the boulder and rushed out, holding the magic sword tightly with both hands. Magic power that is very different from the previous magic power begins to gather on the sword's edge, and brilliant magic colors burst out. Mo Lin, is she going to use her ultimate move? Zoro, the normal slash is so terrifying. I dare not even think about the power of the special move. Sora slash by, it's just that the light pollution is a bit serious, but it looks so powerful. Jibril, oh. Is there such an interesting guy among monkeys? I want it so much. Suddenly. A green light flashed in Black Saber's eyes, causing her pupils to shrink. Projection starts. At this time, Shiro Amiya stood in front of Medusa, the holy shroud spread out, and the magic circuit lit up. Search, filter, and analyze. His consciousness dissipated by 10%, and a huge pressure hit Shiro Amiya's body. Pink petals appeared in Shiro Amiya's pupils. Shiro Amiya's consciousness once again came to that vast blue world. He raised his hands and sang, that I am the bone for my sword. A blazing sky covered with 7 rings. Lo Ajax, the petals unfolded one by one, and a purple flower shield with 4 petals appeared in front of Shiro Amiya's palm and fully unfolded. Paimon, wow. It's a chrysanthemum shield. Monica Kengo, Shiro Amiya. What on earth makes you fight like this? Are you trying to make someone smile too? Sengoku, power is not free, not to mention the sudden powerful power. The pressure his consciousness is under now is probably no less than being hit by the Conqueror's haki. Ma Yanqing, it is destined to be born with the sword. Then his life is destined to be sad. Apart from being recast and used, there is only death as the ending. Iwatani Naofumi, this shield looks very powerful. It's a magic shield, not that broken shield. Senju Hashirama, Medusa's noble phantasm has too long a pre-swing. This world is enough for me to fill her with several secrets. Black Saber looked at Shiro Amiya, who was standing in front of Medusa and confronting him, and there was bitterness and sadness in his eyes. With murderous intent and determination, she swung her extremely powerful magic sword with all her might. Caliba. Sword of promised victory. Boom. The black and red light cannon, the tainted breath of the stars gushed out. The violent magic power washed over the cave, and also ravaged Shiro Amiya, who was standing in front of Medusa. Luffy, they are partners. They should know each other. Why did Altria fight when she was so sad? Nyafong, one cannot help oneself in the world, this swordsman probably has something to hide. Winter Soldier Buggy, we have all been manipulated to do a lot of wrong things, and perhaps she is no exception. Nanook, ultimate destruction, destroy, wreak havoc. Mina, as expected of a man known as the Night King, his power is enough to destroy Casimir single-handedly. Mad Bull, explode. With her violence and talent, if she steps into the magnetic field and rotates, quack. Such a terrifying mouth and teeth. The 7-layered rings of Seraph were shattered into pieces and automatically regenerated, and the origin completely ran wild inside Shiro Amiya's body. Ugh. Ah. Just when Shiro Amiya was about to give up, Medusa's noble phantasm was finally ready. A gorgeous ancient wind reins appeared in the summoning circle. Medusa grabbed the reins, and the summoning circle passed through her body. A pure white Pegasus appeared under Medusa's crotch and spread its wings. Bellerophon. The mystery from the age of gods, where the heavens and the earth are connected with the human world, and the more ancient fantasy species defeated the sword of promised victory. Medusa rode Pegasus with the sword of promised victory on her head and struck Black Saber. She even took her flying. Chui, white horse. Humph. He will never come back. Young man, oh my god. The mistress drove a BMW and hit the original wife. Yumi Wanwen, you understand the headlines of gossip news, and I, the great reporter Wenwen, recognize you. In the Ark world, Lin Guang's house, Cyril stared at the Pegasus ridden by Medusa in a daze and was shocked. Is this the ancient? Or the god of Casimir? In the Harry Potter world, all the unicorns in the Forbidden Forest were boiling. Unicorns and Pegasus have something in common in their ancestors. In this era of declining magic, the appearance of the breath of a fantasy species from the age of gods naturally made all the unicorns flutter. Boom. In a violent explosion, Medusa flew out in tattered clothes, while Black Saber, who was hit by the full force, collapsed to the ground and could not move. Her out-of-control and seriously injured body was still twitching slightly. Call. Shiro Amiya suddenly emerged from the dust. He raised a dagger, and with a sad look in his eyes, he stabbed it into Saber's heart. He knelt on Black Saber, lowered his head and said dejectedly, "Thank you for saving me when I was in countless difficulties. Taro, Altria is really strong. Even Medusa's trump card can only be used as a bomb to injure 1,000 enemies and 800 of her own. Zeta, this is just a serious injury. Miss Altria is more resistant than me. Hataki Kakashi, the feeling of being forced to kill a companion, is terrible. Kaisha, for the sake of justice, this is a necessary sacrifice. Besides, she has already fallen into evil, so there is no need to be sad. Raiden Mei, so. Is Shiro Amiya doing all this just to survive? Or for whom? Also, it's late, the internet is not good on the train. Faloo's 18th anniversary brand upgrade gives back to readers. Top up 100 and get 500 VIP points. Top up now, activity time, August 10th to August 20th. Chapter 14. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Projecting Excalibur. Burning Soul. This body is made for the sword. Black Saber turned into black mud and slowly disappeared. Shiro Amiya wrapped the holy cloth around his arm again and walked towards the cave step by step. AK, filth, evil, human malice. Liang Bing, so this little girl turned into human malice after her death. Malice really has a physical body? It's too unscientific. Romani Akaiman, all the evil of mankind, this will definitely give birth to human evil. Arthur Pendragon, it doesn't matter. If human evil is really born, then I have a reason to appear in this world. The scene changed, and this time, Shiro Amiya was standing in front of a girl. There is boiling magma under the huge lava cave, and behind the girl is a filthy eye. The girl named Mato Sakura kept explaining to Shiro Amiya, but the power seemed to have slipped out of his control and was no longer under her control. She broke down and cried, screaming about the sins she had committed. She killed many people, including her grandfather, her brother, and her sister. She will not be allowed to live any longer. Gu Xiaoluan, this woman, is so evil. Ito Makoto, although Mato Sakura is very pretty, I always have a feeling that her head will fall off. Mato Shinji, the underworld, thank you for the invitation, but her head has already fallen off. Shazam, I always feel that she cannot control her power well. Dr. Octopus, power and dreams are your own. Don't let them control you. Angel Yen, such behavior is already evil, and she really can't be allowed to live. In the Marvel world, Thor covered his face helplessly. This little girl named Mato Sakura is too much like him, both of them had to kill their loved ones for some reason. In the Fate world, Tosaka Tokiomi looked at Mato Sakura in shock and murmured, impossible. Sakura should have inherited the magic seal of the Mato family. It shouldn't be, Tosaka Tokiomi. Bang! Mato Korea kicked the door open and broke into the Tosaka family and punched Tosaka Tokiomi. Tosaka Tokiomi. You bastard! Enough! Amiya Shiro couldn't listen any longer. He rolled up his sleeves and untied the holy cloth. You are responsible for the life you took. Senior, Mato Sakura murmured, but the ribbon behind her uncontrollably stabbed straight towards Amiya Shiro. Mato Sakura closed her eyes in fear. She no longer wanted to see her beloved die because of her. Ding bang. A sound like sparks flying between steel and steel was heard, and Sakura Mato slowly opened her eyes. The scene before her was unbelievable. I don't know what crime you have committed and how much punishment you will receive. Amiya Shiro calmly walked towards Mato Sakura, his body piercing with blades from the inside out, and even slowly growing. From now on, even if someone blames you, I will protect you. Even if I am considered hypocritical. I will protect the one I love to the end. Tsugakuni Yorichi, be responsible for life. It seems that you still value life in your eyes, but, what is Shiro Amiya's ideal? Red A. What's ridiculous is that this man Shiro Amiya has always wanted to be a partner of justice, and no matter which path he takes, he will embark on this cursed path. Kaisha, justice. Curse. How audacious. How can justice be related to the curse? Red A. Those who understand understand, and I am too lazy to say if you don't understand. Charles, the sword is made of, that is, iron. His body has been corroded into steel. Natsuki Subaru, his body is full of swords. It's horrible. How painful it must be. Agatsuma if Yuki can do this to me, Ika Seijo, yeah, it would be great if my prince, my saber could stand beside me unwaveringly. Afei the sheep licker, you guys are so licking. In the world of Triga, Carmilla grabbed Triga's head and said angrily, did you see that? This is love. In Heiankyo, Yuki God put his hands together and prayed, I'm single and you can't be single. I put the Yuki myth here, and you must succeed. Mato Sakura stared blankly at Shiro Amiya approaching, tears streaming down her cheeks. The projection begins. A green light emanated from Shiro Amiya's hand, and a gorgeous dagger in the shape of lightning and engraved with ancient runes appeared in his hand. The dimensional gold list appropriately marked the name and effect of this treasure. One Fu must break the precepts, a treasure that can cut off all contracts. Zhongli, cut off all contracts. Interesting. Kamiju Toma, from the description, this is probably similar to the effect my hand can produce, right? Celine, same as the human before. The ability to cut off my network cable. Damn. Dumbledore, can it also remove blood magic such as the Blood Alliance? If it can, it is really a precious treasure. Grit your teeth. This is going to hurt. The novel was taken from the Rawlers website. Close where you're reading it and support us on our website for more free novels. The novel was taken from the Rawlers website. Close where you're reading it and support us on our website for more free novels. Mato Sakura felt relieved, spread her hands calmly, and waited quietly for the arrival of salvation. Accompanied by a flash of white light, the connection between Sakura Mato and the eyeball was completely severed. After entrusting Sakura Mato to Medusa to take out of the cave, Shiro Amiya turned around and looked at the source of everything, the Holy Grail of Black. Ito Makoto, TMD. Who added the holy light? Takasaka Kirino, uncle, I like to mess with crabs the most. Shinomiya Kagaya, after this war, Shiro Amiya can marry Sakura Mato, right? So excited. Sakata Jintoki, sister. This flag can't be raised. After you said that, I felt that what Shiro Amiya said was like explaining his last wishes. Call. At this time, Shiro Amiya's physical condition shocked the audience. Joint stiffness, severe body pain, hundreds of sword blades growing from the inside of the body. The blade has grown to his brain, and the tip of the sword has already pierced his forehead. Most of Shiro Amiya's memories of his short life of more than a decade have disappeared. After multiple projections, the self-awareness has been reduced to 20%, and the body is close to death. He has forgotten names, lost the names of many things, in fact, even his own name is included. Su Huanjin, it's pitiful, lamentable. He is beyond redemption. Mitsuha Mayamizu, how could it be? Mato Sakura is still waiting for him. The ending shouldn't be like this. Fu Hua being pierced in the head means saying goodbye to the past, but for ordinary people, this is a dead end. In the Naruto world, Uzumaki Naruto looked at the current situation of Amiya Shiro in shock. In his current state, even if he had the power of the 6 paths, he couldn't save him. The injury can prolong his life, but the blade that destroys Amiya Shiro all the time cannot be removed. In the Fate world, Gilgamesh also changed his opinion of Amiya Shiro. I thought he was a fake clown, but I didn't expect he had such a shining side like a real human being. Ha 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 ha. Projection, on, that the reason for fighting has been lost, but what he doesn't want to forget makes Shiro Amiya try to recall it despite the rampage of the origin. Ah, I remember now. As Sakura, let's go flower viewing. Mato Sakura's smile was engraved in Amiya Shiro's mind, and he had not forgotten it. The reason for fighting was rekindled once again. Forget to breathe, forget the pain. The organic part of the body is replaced by the inorganic part. Projection. Start. Shiro Amiya's body is dead, but his soul still remains. Magic circuits are engraved in his soul. Violet, is this the true emotion that humans can have? What exactly is this? Homura Akemi, a feeling more passionate than hope is enough to cover up despair, that's love. Kiana Kislana, even if the sky is covered with dark clouds, he will find the way home with Sakura Mato. He is the one who truly fights for love. Mephisto, burning souls can't even lead to hell. Humans are really incomprehensible. Mr. E, fohahaha. So this is what's interesting about humans. He raised his hand tremblingly, and the light that symbolized hope and life lit up. The life of the ever-victorious king who drew his sword in his youth, dodged the arrows from both sides, unified Camelot, continued the age of gods and Britain, and slew the white dragon, the lord of the island, flashed in his already dim soul. The last look back of the god age reappeared and appeared in him. Wang Vina, this is, the real king. Can I achieve the same feat as her? Alina Joestar, if the meeting between Shiro Amiya and Altria is fate, then the fateful night will also come to an end. Jean Gunhild, a country without a king is beautiful, but why do I feel that Camelot ruled by Altria is more beautiful? Merlin, maybe Altria is doing things and not slacking off. Aozaki Tuko, the inhuman mystery is revealed in Shiro Amiya. He is really a unique material. EXC. Before he could finish his words, Shiro Amiya was already dead. He just stood there like a dead tree, holding his sword. The golden radiance, the gathering breath of stars, the shining flow of life, the black holy grail was completely destroyed. Shiro Amiya's body was made by the sword, but his soul was already shattered. In the collapse of the cave, Shiro Amiya slowly fell with the rubble. Ubuyashiki Yoya, it's also a vow of victory, this time I really felt life and hope, and the light that is enough to kill the cancer of the world like Musen Kibutsuji. 02, you can't just die like this. Sakura is still waiting for you at home. David Martinez, there are no living legends in Night City, and the same is true in the other world. But Shiro is definitely a real man. Kengo Monica, Shiro is a real man. Dagon, he is a real man. Chapter 15. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Sakura's dream. The screen of the gold list turns from black to white. In the middle of the picture, Tonging slowly opened her eyes in the room. The sound of cooking in the kitchen outside the door was clearly heard by Mato Sakura. Fujiwara Chika, it's haunted. Kagura, isn't Amiya Shiro dead? Golden ship, hey, maybe some powerful guy saved him. Like that magician. Severus Snape, magic can't save death. Senior. Mato Sakura got out of bed and rushed to the living room without even changing into her pajamas. At this time, Shiro Amiya was cooking seriously. When he heard Sakura Mato's voice, he immediately stopped what he was doing and subconsciously hugged Sakura Mato, who rushed towards him. Sakura. What's wrong? Mato Sakura didn't say anything, she just shed tears silently, craving for this beautiful. Shiro Amiya seemed to understand something, and without saying anything, he gently comforted Mato Sakura. At this time, the sun shines into the room through the window. Mato Sakura happens to be standing in the sun, while Amiya Shiro is in the shadow. Click. The door was opened, and Medusa came back in her casual clothes carrying vegetables. She also stood in the shadows. She looked at Mato Sakura and Amiya Shiro hugging each other, smiled and silently offered her blessing. Fairy Zisha, wow, what a sincere love. So touching. Shirogane Miyuki, now the lovers are finally together, I wish you all the best. Albedo, something is wrong, this picture always looks a little less lively. Yatsuya Miko, is it really haunted? It feels so weird when I hear you say that. Kakyoin Noriaki, the meaning of this composition. I think maybe Mato Sakura standing in the sun is the only one who survived. Agatha, could it be that this girl has also awakened the same chaos magic as Wanda? Impossible. Dinner time. Mato Sakura, Amiya Shiro, and Medusa sat around the dining table, as if they were a real family. There is no shadow of the past, no haze of the past, only the senior who loves her, Shiro Amiya, and the sister Medusa who always cares for her, pampers her and tolerates her. After dinner, Medusa returned to her room, while Mato Sakura and Amiya Shiro fell asleep in each other's arms. Ha. Mato Sakura suddenly woke up from her dream, and the warm scene turned into a dream bubble. Yukino Shida Yukino, so this was all a dream? Uchiha Madara, the world of dreams is beautiful. If you wake up, you will only see a cruel world. Lei Yingying, as long as you move forward, you will lose something. If everything was frozen at the beginning, Mato Sakura might not lose anything. In the Fate world, Kodomine Kirai was so happy that he couldn't speak, and his face turned red from trying to hold back his laughter. In the Marvel world, Thor looked at Mato Sakura worriedly. For him, it was undoubtedly a torture like 1,000 cuts to let him see his relatives again and then disappear as if playing a game. Can this little girl Mato Sakura get out of the haze? The whole house was silent, and a bunch of keys were placed next to the pillow. The air is so fresh, the mood is so happy, the body is so relaxed. All of this reminds Sakura that maybe all this is not a dream. She walked out of the room, and the whole house was lifeless and silent. Senior. Senior. Hey, Senior. Sakura walked through every corner of Amiya's house, but there was no sign that anyone had been there. Senior, Senior. Ah. Are you playing hide and seek with me? Sakura deceived and brainwashed herself over and over again, but she already knew in her heart that her senior was dead. Vigo, it hurts too much. Survive alone. How slim and fragile it is. Yagami Taichi, she was obviously the one who was saved, but she was left alone. What kind of salvation is this? Raven, it's normal for people to have a mental breakdown. I hope this little girl won't be crazy because of his death, ruler of the rule, but I still want to say, Shiro Amiya is dead. In the Fate world, HF timeline, Sakura looked at herself on the gold list with a forced smile and a pitiful look in disbelief, and tears instantly flowed down her cheeks. She was full of expectations for a future with Shiro Amiya, but a future without Shiro Amiya was definitely not the future she wanted. Sakura completely collapsed. She knelt on the ground and cried helplessly, Senior, Senior. Come out quickly, Senior. Come out, Senior. I am the only one left. How can this happen? Senior. I can't live without you, Senior. 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 Everything has come to an end. Shiro Amiya is dead and his body is gone. Medusa takes Sakura back and then her spirit collapses and she leaves. Shiro Amiya's guardian, Fujimura Taiga, is too sad to come back. Only Sakura was left alone, feeling sad, using time to soothe her inner pain. Kyubi, what a strong talent. It's a pity that I didn't collect this huge despair. Emilia, it's so sad. Why do two people who love each other have to end up like this? Yumira, Suzun, compared to her, the pain of a short separation can be washed away a little. Fujiwara, Moku, what can heal the pain? She can only bear and relieve it with her life. In the FZ world, Tosaka Tokiomi held his head in pain. It should never be like this. Although he is a magician, he also loves his daughter. For him, his daughter can grow up healthy and have a promising future is what he expects most, and Sakura who dies alone is definitely not the future he wants. It is definitely not the future that Sakura should have. The promise between Shiro Amiya and her still remained in her heart. Spring is here, let's go enjoy the flowers together. Sakura refused her sister Rin's invitation to move back to the Tosaka residence, bought the Amiya residence, and planted cherry blossoms herself. As time goes by, every spring is the day that Sakura looks forward to the most, looking forward to the return of Amiya Shiro. No one came to visit her on these dull days, and Sakura waited day after day. She believed that sadness would not come, and she believed that Amiya Shiro would come back. But she still worried about one thing, it's too slow, Senior. If I keep going like this, won't I become an old woman? When that day comes, I hope I'm still alive. Kei Shirogane, will spring come back? It definitely will, right? Kotori Atsuka, are you really not going to do anything? Sakura Matu's place is a supernatural world. What if there is a way to save Shiro Amiya? Kwanji Yuzu, the truth is so cruel. Even the 5 magics of the divine law hanging high in the sky can't save Shiro Amiya who has lost his soul. Jewel, oh, little girl. The second method may be able to bring back Shiro Amiya alive, but that Amiya is not the Amiya that Sakura Matu is waiting for. Sakuya Izaoi, the theory of lifespan. Humans spend their entire lives waiting for that love, but they themselves are worn out by the erosion of time. The sun is warm, time is long, and sometimes it passes by so quickly that it seems like torture. In order to welcome the arrival of the promised day, Sakura sows the flower of atonement day after day. Until my sins are forgiven, I will wait here for spring. Time flies. Spring is coming again. The hillside is already covered with cherry blossoms. On that hillside, Shiro Amiya waved to Sakura Mato. Altria, I sincerely hope that you and Shiro can meet in Avalon. Didn't Avalon protect Shiro? Zhongli, although I don't know what Avalon is, I guess the contract between you and Amiya must have been severed. Banagher, we can't meet until we die. Wanda, the greatest punishment is to let a person who loves someone wait for someone to die alone. Naruto World, Pure Land. Noera Rin has burst into tears. Obito has been fighting for her for half his life, and she has waited for decades in Pure Land. After death, the two finally got married and reunited again. I didn't expect that Mato Sakura had been lonely all her life, and even after death, she would be lonely and unable to see Shiro Amiya again. There is more in the evening. Chapter 16. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Top 7 Suzuya Tatsu.as. The Dimension Gold list came to an end. A special screen popped up in the Type Moon World. Top 8 World-Class Moon. Famous scenes featuring Shiro Amiya, Sakura Mato, Rin Tosaka, Altria, Midyusa. Reward for being on the list. You can make a reasonable wish. It was detected that Shiro Amiya has been offline, so the compensation is 2. In the Type Moon World, the entire magic world is boiling. Countless familiars rushed from the Clock Tower, the Cathedral Church, the Atlas Academy, the Wandering Sea, and large and small magic families, heading straight to Fuyuki, hoping to have the opportunity to trade this wish and make their wishes. In the Throne of Heroes, Altria's original body has long been reconciled with the past and herself. She is no longer stubborn about going back to the past to modify the fate of Britain's destruction. The retreat of the Age of Gods is an inevitable trend, and even the power of the Holy Grail cannot return to the Age of Gods, and Medusa no longer has any regrets. She was summoned by affinity and has pity for Sakura, a girl with a similar fate to her. She is satisfied to be able to protect Sakura until the last moment, and Sakura can fulfill a wish, which makes her feel at ease. The Amiya residence surrounded by cherry blossoms. Mato Sakura trembled and made her wish with hope. If possible, let the senior come back to me. This is just my insignificant wish. After Mato Sakura finished speaking, there was only a gust of warm wind blowing by, and no response. So, this is just a dream, just an illusion. Mato Sakura thought so. Suddenly, a strange yet familiar voice sounded behind her. I'm back, Sakura. Mato Sakura's body froze, then she slowly turned around, tears of joy on her face. Welcome home, senior. London Clock Tower. Tosaka Rin has been targeted by many monarchs, but the monarchs are afraid of her opportunity to make a wish, and did not directly threaten her with force, but used verbal coercion and temptation of interests. Even with EnumaElish too to resist the pressure for him, Tosaka Rin still felt the intrigue and undercurrent of the Clock Tower. Although the classmates in EnumaElish's classroom wanted to help him, they were students after all. Even if he was a genius, he had not grown up yet, and could only be forced by the pressure of the family to help Tosaka Rin out of the siege. Thinking of the possible pressure on Mato Sakura, thinking of Shiro Amiya's physique coveted by the magician of the Clock Tower, Tosaka Rin couldn't help but recall her childhood with Sakura. She owed Sakura too much, and as a sister, she would always protect Sakura and her sister. Tosaka Rin looked at the Dimension Gold list firmly. My wish is, become a magician. The second magician who exists like my ancestor Zelrich. The monarch who was monitoring Tosaka Rin's face changed drastically, and the second unique law of God appeared. And it descended on Tosaka Rin. The Tosaka Rins of countless parallel universes converged into one, and the second magic marshal who was superior to the magician appeared. All the familiars in the classroom retreated. For the monarchs and teachers, this was just a real Holy Grail wish-making machine, but the second magician was a real existence that could crush them. Now the fifth magician Aozaki Aoko and the magic marshal Zelrich can compete with Tosaka Rin. However, Aozaki Aoko disappeared while traveling around the world. Not to mention whether Zelrich could find her or take action. He and Tosaka Rin have a close relationship. The magic world could only give up and retract their eyes coveting the Amiya couple and Tosaka Rin. Dimension Gold lists a review of the top 10 most shocking scenes in the universe. Ranking in no particular order. Top 7 Suzuya Toki that we have been blessed with this mountain and this river for a long time, I will obey God's will and return them to you. Mitsuha Mayamizu, meteors, rainstorms, earthquakes. Damn, natural disasters are still chasing me. In the world of the old Sea City trilogy, in the timeline of your name, Mitsuha Mayamizu, who is still in school, is a little confused. Meteor. Heavy rain. Earthquake. What does it have to do with me? Maybe it's a coincidence. The classmate next door said, in the timeline of weathering with you, Mitsuha Mayamizu had just got off work and was resting in bed. Seeing the words on the Dimension Gold list, Mitsuha Mayamizu sat up suddenly. Meteor, flood, earthquake. Miyazu Mitsuha's face became more and more ugly. What sin had she committed? Was she the child of natural disaster? In the timeline of Suzuya's journey, Mitsuha Mayamizu was already in run. After she saw her past experiences on the Dimension Gold list, she had a bad feeling, until she felt the ground suddenly shake. Bad luck, bad luck, bad luck. Mayamizu Mitsuha complained in pain as she sat in the car preparing to move to Kanagawa. In the Noragami world, Yato said with interest, "Hey. Is this another world with gods? It looks like a land god." In the land of the lustrous world, Kongo's face changed immediately when he saw the word meteor, and he clenched his fists tightly. Phosphophilite, who was trying to make a joke, was so scared that he cracked with a click sound. Dragon Boat Festival reading discount. Top up 100 and get 500 VIP points. Top up now. Event time, June 22nd to June 24th. Chapter 17. You are listening at novelfull.audio. The gate to eternal world, the wonderland on the other shore, the stone that turned into a cat. Inventory begins. On the mountain road around a seaside town, a female high school student rides a bicycle to school. The subtitles of the Jinbang gave the girl's name, Iwado Suzuya. Just as she climbed up a high slope, a long-haired boy in a windbreaker came down the slope. The boy's name was marked on the gold list, Sota Munakata. Armin, this is Aaron. Another you in the world. Aaron, hey, it's just the hair and clothes that are similar, right? Deadpool, you're the one who made the list. Suzuya created a new world, and all the classmates in the class looked at Suzuya. It turned out that the person on the list was right next to me. Suzuya froze directly. The two people on the list before her either fought to the death or fought to the death. She is just a high school girl. Her life must be uneventful. Linya only felt her heart skip a beat, and her heart was pounding. After the two passed each other, Munakata Sota suddenly turned around and asked, "Hey, do you know where there are ruins around?" Ruins? Linya was puzzled, thought for a while, and then pointed to a place for Sota. Thank you. Sota thanked him and walked towards the place where Suzuya pointed. After the two parted ways, Suzuya pushed the cart and walked until she was almost at school, still thinking about Sota. As she was thinking, Suzuya suddenly felt a throbbing in her heart. She skipped class and rode her bike towards the ruins. Tachibana Taki. To be honest, this scene is somehow familiar. Chihiro, so love at first sight really exists. Agatsuma Zenitsu, of course it exists. I've fallen in love with many girls at first sight. Shirai Kuriko, I also fell in love with Wani-sama at first sight. Nagano Haramio, skipping class so naturally. Suzuya is really a role model for us. After arriving at the ruins, Linya entered the ruins of the museum and kept calling out Sota's name, but there was silence all around. As she walked, Suzuya came to the center of the stadium. There was a circular open space full of stagnant water, and in the center was a slightly shabby door. Sawamura Arari, this is too free, isn't it? Just come to find that Munakata Kusada. Aren't you afraid that he is a bad guy? Nobi Nobita, oh. This door looks like a random door. Kirasame, Marissa, a door appeared out of thin air. This is a mutation. Linya walked over with doubt, staring at the door handle in a daze, and her body couldn't help but hold the door handle. Snap, squeak, the door was pushed open, and the scene in front of her made Linya's eyes widen. Endless grassland, gorgeous flowers, pink and blue clouds, shining stars, and the gorgeous Milky Way. Behind the door is another world. A strange world like the fairyland in the east, the fairyland in the west, and the neon Takamagara. Merlin O. Girl who strayed into the fairyland, this is a great opportunity that can change your life. Chihiro, is Lingmei going to start a great adventure too? The first emperor, here, could this be Fuso, one of the 3 legendary fairy islands? WTSK. You can't find such scenery in this land. Xianjiang, this is the grassland in the world, in the starry sky world. Black Tower analyzed the structure and principle of this door with great interest. Does this door connect to another world, or does this door contain a world? The warp device is not a door that you can come and go freely at any time. In the Doraemon world, Nobita ran up the stairs. Doraemon, quickly take out the anywhere door. I want to go to such a beautiful place too. I promised Shizuka. Doraemon looked at Nobita with disdain as he still took out the anywhere door obediently, complaining, really, Nobita, even animals wouldn't lick like this, right? In the green grassland world, the licking sheep Fei was thinking about what gift to give to Mianjiang, and suddenly sneezed. What's this? Lingya was shocked and wanted to lean forward, but when her foot on the door frame stepped behind the door, everything suddenly disappeared. Lingya trotted forward 2 steps in bewilderment. When she looked back, the strange world was already inside the door. Unconvinced, Suzuya traveled back and forth several times, only to find that she could only watch that world through the door, but could not reach it. Cuppy, can we only observe but not interfere? It's a waste of resources to stay on Earth. If we can observe, we can interfere, and if we can interfere, we can definitely control it. Uchiha Itachi, maybe this is just an illusion, a natural barrier. Giorno, Giovanna, Suzum will never reach the reality that is inside the door. Huin Kuma, everything is so coincidental, but Suzuya was chosen. Is this the choice of the gate of destiny? At this time, the frustrated Lingya found a cat-shaped stone statue at her feet that almost tripped her. She bent down and pulled the stone statue out of the ground, playing with it with a puzzled look. After the stone statue was pulled out, it began to evaporate like water vapor. At the same time, a layer of ice suddenly appeared on the surface and then melted away quickly. So cold. Feeling the cold stone statue in her hand, Lingya muttered something and turned to look at the door. Plop. A sound of a beating heart appeared in Lingya's hand, and at the same time, the stone statue in Lingya's hand turned into a cat. Dad, given life? Let Dad think about it. If it's not magic, then its original appearance has been sealed into a stone statue. Holy Lord, fuck. Don't be silly. Yagami light, rather than saying it's a seal, it's more like a key to the seal. Has the seal been unlocked? Kaz, poor little animal, sealed into stone, stopped thinking, and has no vitality. How pitiful. Wow. Lingya threw the cat down and ran away in a panic. For an ordinary high school girl like her, everything today has overturned her worldview. Peter Parker, to be honest, I was stunned when all this happened to me. Itsuka Shidu, we Japanese high school students are like this, aren't you American homeless people like this too? Kane Madoka, Are Japanese high school students so amazing? It's a pity that I'm still a junior high school student. Akemi Homura, Madoka. Start. I'm a little busy, so I'll update later. I'll start updating normally in a few days. Chapter 18. You are listening at novelfull.audio. The earthworm is born and the earth dragon turns over. Lingya ran back to school just in time for lunch break. When she opened her lunch box and was about to eat, she suddenly saw something strange on the mountain in the distance. Something like thick smoke floated out like a cloud of fog, floating very high. Suzuya looked at the smoke in confusion. What is that? Is it a forest fire? Azusagawa Sakuta, why does this thing look so much like the evil in the previous top? Thor, no. These particles, this color scheme. Ether particles. Agatha, it's a bit similar to the power of chaos magic. Charles, the performance of this substance is somewhat similar to the essence of the power in the piano. Deadpool, I didn't expect that two pairs of crouching dragons and phoenix chicks would appear in the small neon town at the same time. Ling Ya's words attracted the attention of her friends, and they looked out the window, but found nothing. Suzuya looked at her friends in shock and asked, Can't you see it? Xia Dongqing, Suzuya also has the yin-yang eyes. That makes sense, that thing must be evil. Yatsuya Miko, it's okay if Suzuya pretends not to see it. Aozaki Tuko, no, the mystery is hidden on the surface. It's normal for ordinary people not to see it, but if Suzuya awakens the magic eye, it will be different. Ding ding ding. Suddenly, everyone's cell phone rang in the classroom. It was a local earthquake prediction. A magnitude 4 earthquake alert. Everyone's attention was drawn to it, but they were not too worried. Although it was an earthquake, they were already used to it. At this time, Ling Ya was speechless. She was sweating profusely on her face and looked towards the sky in fear. The thick fog that she guessed was a forest fire had now climbed up into the sky like a giant earthworm. Zhu Yuanzhang, is this, an earth dragon? Abe Haruaki, the earth dragon is turning over. This is not going to be easy. This is a natural disaster that even gods can hardly suppress. Volibear, the wildness of the earth is being released. Civilization should be shattered. Return to the wilderness. Ultraman Gaia, it's impossible. The earth doesn't have wild power that urgently needs to cause an earthquake. This is just a natural phenomenon. Gegula, you are already an Ultraman, what are you talking about natural phenomena and common sense? Ling Ya immediately ran out of the school and rode her bicycle towards the location of the thick fog. And on her cycling journey, Ling Ya discovered a fact that shocked her. Only she could see that earthworm-shaped monster that was so huge that it blocked out the sky. Under the thick fog, Ling Ya could clearly see that the earthworm's main trunk had many tentacles, and it was surrounded by densely packed birds. Roger, only animals can listen to everything, it's their gift. Dazai Osamu, it is said that birds will migrate because of natural disasters, so this giant is undoubtedly an earthquake. Captain Olga, an earthquake can actually take shape. If it has reason, how much sin would it bear? Musen Kibutsuji, how can dying because of a natural disaster be considered murder? I really don't understand you low-class creatures. Yorichi Tsugakuni, what's so funny? What's so funny? What have you done to your life? Musen Kibutsuji, I treat you like a treasure. Brother. Finally, she reached the ruins of the hot spring town. Ling Ya felt more and more uneasy. Until she saw that the source of the thick fog was where the door was. Impossible. 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 Is it that door? Ling Ya ran towards the door as hard as she could, and through the window she could see endless black and red substances sweeping out from the door. Next to the door, Sota Munakata was pushing the door with all his strength, trying to close it. Hino, TSK. This is really because of Suzuya, who told her not to close the door. Fushijai. Curiosity kills the cat. Thor, this infinite overflowing black and red storm is exactly the same as when the ether particles went berserk. Master Jien, is Munakata Sota the one who came to deal with the natural disaster? That's all his strength? Not that great. Newt, Aurors like him should have unique skills. Relying on brute force is not the quality of a magician. Ancient One, you are a bit biased. Sota noticed Suzuya coming over and shouted anxiously, what are you doing here? Go away. It was because of this moment of distraction that the black and red substance broke through the door and directly pushed Chao Tai out. Seeing this, Ling Ya quickly ran over to help Sota up. Hey, are you okay? Before Kasada could reply, the sky suddenly darkened, and countless golden threads emerged from the ground and slowly rose into the air. Kinara, this special effect looks familiar. Indra, well, Is it time for the golden lotus to emerge from the ground next? Kujo Jotaro, this bitch, don't make trouble at the critical moment. Qin Lu, I have a bad feeling, have you seen the city falling apart? This is. Lingya asked in confusion. Chao Tai's face changed drastically, oh no. At this time, the golden list image came to the sky, and the thick black and red fog stood straight in the sky. Countless tiny branches spread out. Then the earthworm-like thick fog seemed to lose its center of gravity, slowly falling towards the small town where Lingya was, and hit the ground heavily. Boom! At the same time, alarms suddenly rang on everyone's cell phones. Earthquake! Earthquake! Altria, the thread of the Earth's fabric. If the spiral holy spear is the anchor that maintains the inner and outer worlds, then this disaster is going to destroy the outer world. Gilgamesh, it is indeed a big disaster. If the environment of the Age of Gods is added, the consequences will be disastrous. EnumaElish, earthquake. The workload will increase again. In the Ming dynasty of China, Zhu Yuanzhang looked at the portal that released the Earth Dragon in horror, and then issued an order, hurry up and go to Taishu Mountain to ask for the Red Kite Immortal. In the Sea Tiger world, the white-shawmed man saw through the source of the earthworm disaster at a glance. It was the chaotic magnetic field energy in the Earth. The battle between the strong magnetic field masters can also cause this phenomenon. Even a tsunami. Starting the day after tomorrow, the production capacity will increase to 4 or 5 updates. Ask for flowers, Dragon Boat Festival reading discount. Recharge 100 and get 500 VIP points. Recharge now, activity time, June 22nd to June 24th. Chapter 19. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Return it in compliance with God's will. Get out of here quickly. Sota yelled, then ran towards the door and tried his best to close it. But his hand was scratched by the iron that fell when the earthquake came, and he couldn't use all his strength, which made the already bad situation worse. Dio, the more this happens, the more I can feel that human power is limited. Ajay, aren't people who come to handle special matters a little too weak? Ubuyashiki Yoya, people like us are hidden in the dark side of the world, and are not recognized by the government. In the Phantom, Blood timeline of JoJo World, Dio, who is about to graduate from college, looks at Sota who is powerless to fight against natural disasters, and becomes more and more dissatisfied with his identity as a human being. Dio will surpass humans and become number one. Lingya looked at the substance in the door in fear from a distance. She already knew that this was the source of the earthquake. This earthquake reminded her of the past. The scene of the gold list brings back memories of Lingya. She grew up without a father but only a mother, and she grew up happily under her mother's care. Until her mother died in an earthquake, she was entrusted to her mother's younger sister. The young girl ran out alone holding the relic left by her mother, a 3-legged bench, and lost her memory in the snowstorm. The memory ended, Lingya's eyes became firm, no longer afraid. She stood up and ran to Sota, pushing the door with her. Fujiwara Chika, oh. So Suzuya is not completely love-brained, it's just because of the trauma caused by the earthquake in her childhood. Whitebeard, poor child. It's dangerous to leave such a young child alone in the snow and ice. Scathach, is a hero about to be born? Her fate is starting to get complicated. William Zeppeli, the hymn of mankind is the hymn of courage. I'm so glad that Suzuya rushed up to help. Bruce Wayne, good job for facing the fear in your heart and defeating it. In the Ultraman world, the land of light, many Ultramen in the Showa era have affirmed Suzuya. This enthusiasm and respect for life made them look at Suzuya differently. In the FGO world, MASH said to Fujiwara Ritsuka with admiration, Suzuya is really like my predecessor. Fujiwara Ritsuka smiled gently, I have never changed, it was like this before, it is like this now and it will be like this in the future. Why? Sota looked at Suzuya who had mustered up the courage to help him in disbelief. Lingya did not answer, but asked loudly, this door must be closed, right? At this time, a tragic song like the ballads of our ancestors suddenly appeared in the background of the gold list. Under the full efforts of Suzuya and Sota, the door slowly began to close. Ijichi Kuka, oh. Such epic music. Uzumaki, Boruto, damn. It's on fire. Merlin, it feels like watching a heroic epic, so let me, the big brother, record a story about courage. Kamiyama Toma, Suzuya's journey must be a good story, right? I'll wait and see. Chow Tai closed his eyes and said piously, think again and again, pray to the sun-missing god, pray to the land god of the ancestors. The key on Sota's chest suddenly fluttered, and a blue and orange glow appeared beside him. This mountain and this river have been of great benefit to me for a long time. I am deeply grateful. Sun Wukong, earth. Morgan Le Fay, the fairy of the earth. I didn't expect fairies to have a good side. Kafudani Sanai, hey. Is Sota a living god? Or has he received a blessing from the gods? Auto Apocalypse, communicate with the gods, summon the gods. Do gods really exist? In the Type Moon world, Gaia is emitting a faint light. If humans really have reverence and gratitude for the mountains, rivers, and the earth like Sota, then he would not choose to call the alien Uo and then choose to destroy himself. At the same time, the nostalgia and feelings of the people in the past for this land emerged in the ears of Kyoto and Suzuya. Dad! Come on, here. It's been a long time since I came to the hot springs. Mom, let's go to the hot spring again. Well, let's go back here on our family trip next year, shall we? Amaya, does this land really carry so many sincere feelings? Why, all I can feel is pain and suffering. Fas, if the gem people are part of the earth, then are our feelings also the feelings that humans in ancient times have stored in the land? In the starry world, Walter silently wiped away a tear. Hometown is too far away for him, and going home has become an obsession that he doesn't often think of but is rooted in his heart. No matter what kind of disasters there have been on earth, no matter what kind of sad past he has had, he loves that land deeply. In the Boruto world, Boruto is looking up at the starry sky in ragged clothes. The whole world is his enemy, and he has no relatives. Those years, which were full of complaints about his father and wanton play, were unexpectedly the best time of his life. There is no way to retreat in all directions, and no way back home. But everything in Konoha village is still deeply loved by Boruto, and one day he will return there. The emotions of countless people gathered here, and the love for this land awakened the power of God. I am deeply terrified, and I will return it to you in obedience to God's will. Thinking again and again, praying to the God who never sees the sun. I am deeply grateful for the kindness I have received from you for so long. I am deeply terrified, I will obey God's will. Snap. The door slowly closed at this moment, and a golden lock appeared on the door. Closed. Sota pulled out the key, inserted it into the lock with all his strength and twisted it hard. Give it back. The huge disaster expanded in vain. Then it turned into a bubble and exploded into a colorful brilliance. The sky returned to its azure color again, as if nothing had happened. Bedward return all the restlessness of the earth. Hayakawa Aki, this door is as terrifying as Pandora's box. Fortunately, there is a key to seal it. Otherwise, if the earthquake demon appears, the consequences will be disastrous. Mountain Demon Bow Gang, call me. Uchiha Sasuke, it's really exciting. Amaterasu almost used it unconsciously. Mo Duo, the disaster has subsided, but the magnitude of this earthquake is not that big, right? Misaka Mikoto, here comes the terrifying part. Earthquakes will happen more than once. Could it be that there is more than one door? Dragon Boat, Festival Reading Discount. Recharge 100 to get 500 VIP points. Recharge now, event time, June 22nd to June 24th. Chapter 20. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Suzuya's journey. The gate to Tokyo opens. A great disaster is coming. After everything was over, Sota began to settle accounts with Suzuya. This place has been sealed by a stone. Why did you come back here, or why can you see Ina? Where is the Jinsher? Suzuya took 2 steps back, not knowing what was going on. March 7. This is so funny, wasn't this accident caused by Suzuya not closing the door? Holmes, stabilizer. Stabilizer. Ah. The only stone that can be called a stabilizer and has magical powers is the one that Suzuya pulled out and turned into a cat and ran away. Hubie, according to the database, Lungzi is a master killer. Sota has been defeated by Suzuya. Kiana, hey. You don't even know what you did. Is Suzuya an idiot? Sir, no, she is just an idiot. Kusada sighed and explained everything to Suzuya. This place became the location of the door, and this door was the door. If you go in through the door, there will be a disaster called earthworm disaster. If you don't stop it, an earthquake will happen. Sota thanked him and was about to leave, but Suzuya noticed Sota's wound and insisted on taking him to the hospital for treatment. For some reason, Sota didn't want to go to the hospital, so Suzuya had no choice but to take Sota home. Kirishima Tuka, are you so careless? You just bring a strange man home like this. Old man Munakata, this little girl is too enthusiastic, isn't she? I don't have to worry about my grandson's future. Mitsuha Mayamizu, by the way. I think I met Mr. Munakata in Tokyo, Amano Yorai, yeah. I think I've seen it before too. After Sota was bandaged by Suzuya, the two sat by the window and chatted. At this time, a wet kitten appeared on the windowsill of Linya's house. Linya kindly took out some dried fish and water and fed it to the kitten. Looking at the kitten eating seriously, Linya said with a smile, how cute. Hey. Come to my house. Good. Yeah. Suzuya and Kusada looked at the talking cat in shock. Professor McGonagall, is this an animagus? Yumi, wow. Another talking cat. Are you a magical cat too? Meowth, his big eyes are very similar to mine. He must be an elf, right? He must be. Charles IX, look for any devices on him, such as a tie or something. Dr. Shinonome, great. Another talking cat. The kitten, now with shiny fur all over his body, sat up and said, Linya, so gentle, single push. Then, Kaneko turned his gaze to Sota and smiled maliciously, you are so annoying, get out of here. Snap. Sota disappeared. The 3-legged stool fell to the ground with a thud. Shana, Sota's existence has been erased. Yakumo Yukari, Sota has disappeared, or his realm of existence has disappeared. Dr. Strange, it is possible that he was just teleported away. There is no definite statement about whether Sota Munakata is dead, alive or disappeared. Yatsuya Miko, so scary. This is definitely a supernatural event. Nick Fury, I just want to say that kittens are not to be messed with. Hey. Mr. Sota. Where are you? Snap. Under Suzuya's shocked gaze, the stool stood up and made a sound like Sota. Linya's 3 views were completely shattered. Chow Tai looked at the cat angrily, damn it. You did this. Upon hearing this, Kaneko immediately turned around and ran out, while Sota controlled his new body and chased after him. Suzuya thought that if people on the street saw a bench chasing a cat, they would also chase it. Furu, his soul was poured into this bench. Keilu, did he adapt to the new body so quickly? I can't imagine using a bench to sit on my body. Conan, my 3 views are also blown up. I thought rejuvenation was outrageous enough. I didn't expect to become a benchman. The monitoring person, detection, benchman, harmless. Sakurajima a bench chasing a cat on the street will definitely cause a commotion. This is where Linya's journey begins. The images of the gold list flashed by quickly, but the information was not leaked at all. The cat named Minister was intentionally guiding Linya to seal the door. And Sota seemed to sleep a little longer in his new body, so he had to give the key to Suzuya, and let her seal the door. Just like that, Suzuya ran away from home, and together with Sota, she chased the minister all over Japan, and at the same time sealed the gates of all sizes. Shirogane Miyuki, is it really okay to run away from home like this? Your aunt is still worried about you. Shimura Danzo, humph. I smell a conspiracy, deliberately guiding the seal of the gate. It's all fake. Rimuru, it's not good. The longer Sota leaves his human body and enters the dead object, the faster his soul will dissipate. In the end, Sota will really become a stool. Hiratsuka Shizuka, Suzuya's physical fitness is really good. She has the physical fitness to participate in the sports meeting, right? She can run more than 10 kilometers without breathing. At Sota's house, Linya read the secret book of the closed-door teacher and learned the reason for all this. The violent energy of the earth gathers in a world called the Eternal World, and every time it is released, it causes an earthquake. Some great disasters could not be solved by closing the door, so the ancients created 2 stones to suppress the. The guardian stone of Kyushu is the minister, but he has already run away, so the big and small earthworms will continue to appear. The other stone is in Tokyo, suppressing the head of the worm. 100 years ago, the gate of Tokyo was opened once, causing the great Kanto earthquake. Enkidu, why is it so agitated? Volibear, the earth is sleeping, but it is not dead. The venting of anger is the law of nature. Takamachi Nanoha, the minister is not going to pull out the stone of Tokyo, is he? Tsujikoku Yurichi. Unbelievable, unbearable. These inhuman beings regard life as life. EnumaElish, the great Kanto earthquake killed 100,000 people. If it is opened again, the angel chased. This is evil. An extremely evil act. Thinking of this, Sota's tone suddenly became panicked, and Linya seemed to have thought of something and her face was full of fear. The minister's goal seems to be to pull out Tokyo's guardian stone. Just then, the earthquake happened. Suzuya and Kasada rushed out of the door, and the worm had appeared, and the door to Tokyo was opened. Himaya Jun, Suzuya, Kasada, you must cheer up. Life is waiting for you to save it. Homelander Suzuya, my friend, you are the real hero. Mitsuha Mayamizu, I am so unlucky. There are more in the evening. Dragon Boat Festival reading discount. Top up 100 and get 500 VIP coupons. Top up now. Activity time, June 22nd to June 24th.